Welcome back to another segment of Gwaan. Felt like talking today. I had to make some sacrifices, but you know, don't we all? Right? So, today I actually ironically wanted to talk about sacrifices. I wanted to talk about karmic debt. I wanted to talk about struggle, getting it out of the mud. That's what I wanted to talk about today, because as I'm sitting here making this video, I already had to make a sacrifice. I'm hungry as shit. I woke up this morning and got ready and started running errands because I, needed some stuff for the house, needed to get some groceries and all that stuff, right? And I actually have to go into work, so I don't work from home today. And it's like 11:30, so I was like, okay, I can go in here and like take my time and make me a salad real quick, or I can get this shit off my chest and make a video. And I'm like, I'm gonna just go ahead and make a video. I would rather make a video and then like while I'm out I can just grab some food or something real quick. But yeah, I wanted to talk about sacrifices because the season that I'm in, it seems like nobody really understands it, and it's not for everybody to understand, and I get that, trust me, I do. But I don't think people realize the things that you have to do in order to get to where you want to go. When you ain't come from nothing, you got to build this stuff. You got to find your own resources and then try to move forward with what it is that you have. You have to make the best of everything that you get. So for me, it's deeper than just, hustling. Like, I can hustle in my sleep. Like, to me, I'm finna pop my shit real quick. There's nobody in this fucking world that can out hustle me. Like, and that's just me being real. Like, there's nobody that has the self-discipline that I have, and nobody that also has the grind that I have, the hustle and the creativity that I have. And that's just me being real. So I'm willing to do a lot of crazy ass shit that other people are not. Like, right now I'm working 2 jobs, but to me that's not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is not enough. Like, if I don't have a residual amount of at least $1,000 after I pay my bills, it's not enough. So my definition of broke and other people's definition of broke are 2 different. Like, there's a tier that I hit and I'm just like, nah, because if some shit pop off, like if I need to get my tire changed or something like that money's gone. Like, it's over with, like it's done. So I'm like, I need to get some more money. So I'm over here talking about getting like a 3rd job and shit. Mind you, I still have my business that I'm keeping up with. It's not like as it wasn't at the forefront like it was during the summer, because that was the only thing that I had. But it's still there. Like, I'm still engaging with my followers and stuff like that. I'm still posting. It's not as often. I haven't sent out mass emails in a while, marketing emails. But to me, doing ads on social media versus the marketing emails work a little bit better. Like, I get more sales that way anyway, so I'm not really that pressed about it. But it's just good to engage with the customers and those that support me and stuff like that. So I get it. But anyway, mind you, I'm thinking about adding a 3rd job on top of this shit, y'all. And everybody that I talk to it about, they're like, when the fuck are you gonna sleep? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, that just sounds crazy. And I know it sounds crazy. But y'all, I am sacrificing myself to repay this karmic debt, okay? That is what the fuck I'm doing, okay? Poverty has been in this family for a long ass time. My grandmother overcame it. When my grandmother died, my grandfather ran that shit right the fuck back up, okay? He fucked over all that shit. And there's a lesson in that too. 2 things. 1, watch the people that you fuck with. Watch the people that you get with, and watch the people that you marry. Because while you can get your whole bloodline together, you could get with somebody and they can tarnish that shit and taint that shit. 2nd thing is the lesson of sacrifices. There are probably a lot of sacrifices that my grandmother and my great-grandmother had to make that I'm probably making now that doesn't make sense to a lot of other people, but it makes sense to me because this is the shit that I got to do to get to where I got to go. So it's like, if I'm missing out on birthdays and, I don't really go to the hookah lounge and I don't really get dressed up and I ain't doing a drink, like, I don't really give a fuck about this shit. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, when you struggle and been through a struggle for so long, there's a certain point that you get to and you just like, I ain't doing this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally snap. Like, you have to snap. And I feel like that's the point that a lot of people are scared to get to because they don't really know what's on the other side. But you really got to get to your breaking point in order to push yourself forward. You have to get to your breaking point in order to be like, I am going to get this shit by any means necessary. And that is the mindset that I'm in. Like, people are like, oh, like for an example, my neighbor, I was just out here planting some flowers and like making the shit look nice during the summer, and you know, he came and talked to me and he was like, what do you think about modern women? I was like, I don't really believe in that shit. Like, I don't really give a fuck. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? And he was like, well, you know, like, you know, what are you doing? And I was like, well, you know, like, I work for a top 5 Fortune 100 fintech company. Like, what do you mean, what do I do? Like, I stay my ass in the house and I get paid, like and I have a business, like. And he was like, okay, well, you know, that's good, but you know, like, just be mindful that, you know, don't be so caught up on your work that you miss out on, you know, love and get married. He's like, do you want to get married? And I was like, I don't. With the choices that I have out here in the world, actually, I don't. Like, I don't even want fucking kids. And I'm gonna get to that in a second too, because I used to want kids. And he was like, well, you know, like, just if that's what you want, you know, don't be so caught up in your career and miss out on love. And I was just like, I ain't gonna sit here and argue with no old ass man, you know, because he watched me grow up. So I was like, okay, you know what? I was like, all right, you know, cool, whatever. But I'm like, sir, for one, there's not enough out here for me. That's number one. The niggas that I have to choose from ain't shit. And I'm not saying ain't shit in a means of like they don't have like material and financial gains or anything like that. Like, they very well do. But mentally, no, they ain't there. Emotionally, they're not on my caliber. You know, like, they just don't have enough. They're not well-rounded enough for me. And I'm like, I'm over here, I got all my shit together. You know, I've been through all of that. I went to therapy. I've fought my demons. I didn't even fight my demons. Me and my demons have come to a consensus, and we're just like, all right, when you need me, holla. And I don't ignore it. You know, like, when it pops up, like, I handle it. I face it head on, like you're supposed to do. But it's just like, I'm not really scared of feeling like I'm missing out on something. That's my thing. Like, I'm 24. I'll be officially 24 in 2 weeks. And it's like, I'm not afraid to miss out on love because I am love. Like, everywhere I go, I'm going to receive love. Like, I'm not afraid that I'm going to miss out on some grand opportunity or like the perfect man, because what I've realized is that the right person, wrong time is still the wrong person. Because if it was the right person, it would be during the right time. And now is not that time. Like, right now, the season that I'm in and the energy that I'm in, I don't give a fuck about love. I am 100% of my masculine energy, and my masculine is nothing to be fucked with. Like, that little nigga is a fucking menace. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I had to let a lot of people go. I had to stop checking on people because I had to check in with myself. Like, I don't really have time. Like, I know people see me post on social media and they see me on Twitter and all this shit. Like, I get it, but those are like, that's my outlet. That's how I give out messages and I let people know what the fuck is up, and that this healing shit is not, it's not easy. It's not a walk in the park and shit. Like, I just give my thoughts. Like, that's on an everyday thing. Like, I don't have to think about that shit. That's why my business kind of slowed down a little bit, because my business required me to be in my feminine energy and be a little bit more creative and, you know, like, post reels and like get dressed up and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not really in that energy right now. Like, as you can see, like, I'm also rocking my fucking daddy chain and shit. Like, I'm not in that energy. Like, I'm not in that energy. I'm not in that energy where I can be like, where I can be courted right now and, you know, like, listen to a man talk about his day and all his problems. I'm like, no, like, I don't give a fuck about your problems because I got my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that sounds harsh, but like, I don't have time. Like, I don't have time. And it's not that, you know, I feel like I'm running out of time or I'm on a time crunch or nothing like that. It just, I can't deal with it right now. Like, I have work to do, like real work, inner work, generational trauma work. Like, I have work to do. And I'm not really concerned about like popping out on social media and all that shit. Like, I'm gonna reflect. Like, I took a week off for my birthday off of like everything, and I'll probably be doing sales and stuff for my business, and you know, that's what I have planned. But otherwise, shawty, no, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. No. Hold on, I gotta check. You know I gotta check because I just be talking and the shit will cut out and I hate it. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to I got trust issues, y'all. Okay. I be in my car and sometimes it'll overheat. And I be in my zone talking, y'all, and that shit will cut the fuck out. Okay. So I think we're good. Actually, I want to see if I can just like hold it here so I can watch it. Hold on. Fuck. Maybe not. I probably can't. Just. Oh, God damn it. Aha. Okay. So now I'll see when that shit go out. Okay. So anyway, it's just like, no, I don't really have time for the extra shit. I really don't. That's just not the energy I'm in. And I've been reflecting on the things that I have to do to make shit work. And I'm not mad about it. I'm really not. I forgave my grandpa on his deathbed. Like, I was just like, I already know the shit that you did was fucked up. I'm not gonna cry. I already know the shit that you did was fucked up, right? And you kind of undid all the work that my grandmother did. So now it falls on me and my mom. But like, what can you do? Like, after you get to that point and you're just like, you can cry about it and whine about it and bitch about it all day long, but at the end of the day, you know, you kind of got to be like, now it's just time to work. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta, I'm not saying suppress your feelings by any means. Like, feel what you gotta, you know, do what you gotta do. But my grandfather, he passed 2 years ago. So, like, I've had time to, like, mourn and grieve over that shit. And it's like, okay, now I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about nothing else. If it doesn't have anything to do with money, it doesn't concern me. And that's just how I feel. And that's why I've been talking a lot about, you know, the spiritual community, because they're on this wave where it's like, oh, materials don't matter, you know, like the extra shit doesn't matter, the CC. I'm like, okay, all right, like let's reel it back in, you feel me? Let's talk about it, because money does matter. Okay, when you talk about God blessing you and making a way out of no way, what the fuck does he give you? Money. He pays your fucking bills with what? Money. You feel me? Like, that's the shit that don't make sense to me. And I'm like, you sitting up here complaining, right? I'm gonna be doing this a little bit, so I'm sorry if this looks weird, but I just gotta check. Okay. Like, people be like, oh yeah, like, you don't need money, or you don't really whatever. I'm like, yes the fuck you do. Like, you sitting up there, you struggling. Do you not want to eat? Like, are you tired? Are you not tired of sleeping on the fucking floor? Are you not tired of skipping meals? You feel me? Are you not tired of fasting, not by choice? Like, you know, like shit like that. It doesn't make sense to me. And I'm just like, God does not want you to be broke. God wants you to live your full potential in your birthrights. And your birthright is fucking abundance. But because you are cutting certain things out of your abundance, you're not going to get it. What people don't understand is the things that you place your energy into and you magnetize, the stuff that you put your focus towards magnifies, right? And if you cutting money out that shit, you gonna get everything except fucking money, bitch. Hello? Like, 1 + 1 = 2. Okay? So, I'm not doing that. And at one point, I kind of was, because I didn't want to, but I realized that my perception around money was warped. I had to fix my relationship with money and towards money, because the psychology of money is really important. And I will link some books that I've read below that kind of helped me with that. But I had to tell myself that, you know, having money isn't bad. All rich people aren't bad. And that getting a lot of money isn't going to change me as a person, right? The only thing money does is enhance who you are as a person. So if you're already a shitty person and you get money, you're gonna be a more shitty person. You feel me? But if you're a good person and you have morals and you get some money, you're gonna be out here giving the fuck back. You know, you don't be stupid with your money and just give it all away. You know, invest and have that shit circle back around and come back to you. But you're going to be an even better person because you have more of the resources to help and reach the people that you need to reach. And that's the shit that I'm on. So I'm like, any nigga that come to me talking about some, oh, Crystal's loving light, I don't give a fuck about money. I'm like, okay, well, you can get the fuck away from me, okay? And I'm not saying this in a means of like no city girl shit, but it's just like me and you don't have anything to talk about. Because the one thing I'm not gonna do is be over here grinding, hustling, and sacrificing, and you just sitting on your fucking ass out here meditating with the trees and shit. Like, nigga, if you don't get the fuck up off your ass and go get some fucking money, like, I don't know. And because, you know, I don't want the money to like spend it on like expensive shit and material things. I feel like once I get to a certain point, like maybe I'll start investing in that type of stuff. But for right now, like, I'm just trying to get to a place of stability. I'm trying to get to a place where I can retire my fucking mama. Like, that's the shit that I'm trying to do. Like, I won't sleep. I will not die peacefully until I retire my fucking mother. And that's just that on that. Like, if I gotta die about that shit, I will die on that fucking hill happily. And my mom tells me that all the time, like, oh, you know, don't worry about me, you just go live your life. And I'm like, I cannot live my life peacefully knowing that you struggling. Like, I don't understand how people do that shit. People be out here getting this money, flexing this money, like, yeah, I got it out the mud. But I'm like, nigga, your mama ain't even got groceries in her fucking fridge, dog. Where's your priorities? Have you really made it for real? No, you have not. You still got more fucking work to do, my G. Like, go out and get some money. Like, there is no way that you can say that you've made it and the niggas around you still struggling. Whether it be that you give them the actual money or you give them the fucking resources. Nobody around you should be fucking struggling. Nobody around you should be struggling. If you got it, the people that you fuck with and the people that you came up with that was shooting with you in the fucking gym should also have it. Let that marinate. I'm gonna let that sizzle in your spirit. Because I know for me, I wouldn't be able to do that shit. I wouldn't be able to do that shit. And I mean, like, there are some people that do and they live conscious free, but I'm like, I'm not built that way. And I'm also doing this shit by myself. I don't have no sugar daddy and I ain't selling no pussy. I've had an offer though, and matter of fact, I'm gonna talk about that. I am not downing sex workers because they are very important, but if you have the capacity to do that shit, God bless you, because I wish I had the capacity to do that shit and live my life and just not think twice about it. But I think too much, and I don't like being subjected to, you know, like, abuse. That's a form of abuse, because niggas, I talked about this on Twitter and Instagram. I posted it there, but niggas bury their problems in pussy, and women weaponize and bury their feelings in a false sense of self. So when you in sex work, you're literally kind of becoming a dumping ground for like these weird ass, fucked up ass men. So it's not even a fact of like keeping yourself up. So you're keeping yourself up physically. It's more about the spiritual aspect of it. You got to keep your vessel clean. And that's a hard thing to do, because some of these motherfuckers are really out here real life demons. And there's some shit that you might catch and you can't shake. Like, it's going to take a fucking exorcism to get that shit about you. You feel me? And you might go through like years of like physical illness because of something that you attained spiritually. And people don't understand that it starts spiritually before it ever manifests physically. It always starts spiritual. That's why I am so focused on getting my inner self together, get my inner self organized, because once I get organized internally, that shit is going to magnify physically. It doesn't happen right away. That's how, like, when you start physically getting sick, you know that shit has been brewing and brewing for a good little minute now. Sometimes if 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 your body, mind, and spirit are all on one accord, sometimes that shit does manifest kind of quick. But if it doesn't, then that's how you know that, you know, you might be fragmented a little bit, but you can get back together. But that's how you know you're a little bit fragmented. And then but that's how you know that's where it starts. Okay. And I don't have the capacity to deal with that shit. I really wish I did, because I would have been out this shit, but I just don't. I can't do it. But I also hate that it happens that way, because, you know, you run into people that are meant to bless you, and, you know, they have the resources, they have the ideas, they like, okay, you know what, I'll give you a team, I'll help you out, da 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 da. But they always want to stick their hand in it. You know, they always got to fuck it up. They always got to be like, oh, okay, well, you know, like, I'll do this for you, but, or it's like, oh, you know, I have the money that you need and that God sent me to you to bless you with, but I gotta get some pussy first. And it's just like, you know what, I'm good. You know, like, I'm good. Like, don't even worry about it. I'm gonna get it myself. Because there's too many people out here that want to take advantage of you. And I'm like, what happened to just blessing other people just because it's on your heart? Do people do that shit anymore? And that is why I am so focused on getting money, because that's the type of shit that I would do. I need to let people know that there are still good people out here in this fucking world, because everybody's really out here doing it for themselves. A lot of people out here are selfish. So yeah, but, you know, full circle moment. That is a big ass squirrel. God damn. I'm sorry. That is a big ass squirrel. Jesus. Okay. Goodness gracious, they get a little thick. But what was I about to say? Oh yeah, sacrifices. So me repaying this karmic debt is really important to me. And like I said I would die on that hill, and I gladly will. Bars, bitch. But I really will, because someone got to do it. Someone got to make the sacrifice, and there's nobody else strong enough to do it. So ultimately it falls on me. Okay. Like, my sister went a different route with her shit. I ain't gonna air it out, but there's a reason why she always got some shit going on. I'll say that. But for me, I am healing my cells, my DNA, my body, because pretty much everybody and all the people that I know in my family have died from some sort of illness. And I'm like, okay, well, that's one way I'm not going out. So, you know, I took the time to be vegan for 5 years, and now I'm an herbalist. I call myself an unofficial herbalist, because when people get sick in the family, they call my mama and they like, yo, I know your daughter on some shit. Like, what can I do? I got this cold, my baby sick, blah, 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 blah. And they called me. So I already know all the herbs and shit. I just didn't go to school for that shit, but I be in my kitchen whipping. And it started because I didn't have health care. And then on top of that, I had to watch my nana die from cancer. Like, she was in hospice, and she just progressively just kept getting worse, and that shit fucked me up. So I was like, I wish she was here, you know, like, I wish she was here, and I wish that I knew all the stuff that I know now, because that shit would have never happened. You know, like, now I know how to reverse illness, like, using what God gave us, which is herbs, you know. And, you know, there are people out here like, oh, you can't cure cancer, you can't cure this, you can't cure that. I'm like, do you really think that God would not have provided us with the things to cure ourselves of these diseases when we have them? Just think about that. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But I'm not here to judge nobody. But, you know, I definitely believe in cures, because I've seen it happen. There was I'm gonna get her IG wrong. I think it's Plant Be Heal. when I first started following her, she was diagnosed with HPV. She has her whole journey documented. She went on a 40-day fast, y'all, a 40-day fast. She posted her results and she was cured of HPV. But that's the type of shit that people aren't willing to do. That's why I'm saying, like, there are sacrifices that you have to make and people ain't willing to sacrifice it. That's why I say I'm different from a lot of people. Like, mentally, I have mastered my emotions. I can completely, they on a switch, y'all. My emotions are on a switch because I've mastered the art of detachment. I turn them bitches off when it's time. When it is time to get down to focusing and shit, like, my emotions are off. And if I get hurt and shit in the process, I'll heal on the other side. Like, that's just how I move. That's how I've always moved. When I focus on something and I'm fixated on something, that's the only thing I see. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. And I'll be respectful about it. You know, like, people that come in my face and they're like, oh, this and that. And I'm like, no, I'm busy right now. Like, I can't. You know, like, I literally can't. I'll have to catch up with y'all when I can. And I just hope that my friends understand this, you know, and hope that they don't think that I'm, like, acting brand new or, like, being ugly or something like that. But I'm like, there's some shit that I gotta do. Like, there is some shit that I gotta do. Like, when you called to do something, you gotta do that shit. Like, you gotta do that shit. And, you know, maybe y'all have made it out and God bless y'all. I will see y'all on the other side. But there's some shit that I gotta do right now. Like, I have to do this. Only I can do this. So I gotta stay focused, you know? So I don't really have time for all the extra shit. And right now, songs that have been really getting me through is Rod Wave, By Your Side, and pretty much I was gonna say like 1 or 2 songs from Kendrick, but honestly, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is really about the entire healing and shadow work journey to begin with. Like, sacrificing and healing, fucking having all the shit out, like purging all of the trauma that your family been through and all the shit that you've been through, and purging all that shit out, and then you'll be able to heal. But you won't be able to heal unless you get that shit about you. So, and that's kind of like what I'm going through now, because once I get to where I'm going, then I'll ease up, you know. But right now I can't let up. Like, I'm really good with balance. I am really good with, you know, knowing how to move when to move. And right now, I'm not being called to, you know, like, let's hang out, let's go out for drinks. Like, what the fuck am I celebrating? And that's just how I feel. Like, what am I celebrating? My mama working 3 jobs. What the fuck am I celebrating, dog? Like, what am I celebrating? I'm sorry. Like, what am I celebrating? Like, I'm getting raw and real with y'all right now. And I know there's probably somebody else, like, on the other side of the fucking world, on the other side of the globe, that's gonna see this shit and be like, yo, like, I'm going through the same shit. Just know that somebody else is too, okay? But, like, what are we celebrating? Like, let's be real. Like, let's be clear. What are we celebrating? Real shit. Tell me. Yes, you watching this video. Tell me, what the fuck are we celebrating? And I'm not saying this to be rude and to be ugly, but, like, dead ass, I'm not celebrating until I make it to the other side. And if I die in the process, well, goddamn, I went as far as I can, and then I'll reincarnate and I'll pick the fuck up where I left off, and I'll come back and grind and do that shit again. But I won't let up. I'm not letting up. I'm not letting up. So I appreciate everybody's concern about me working and, you know, finding the work-life balance. Like, that's fine. I appreciate it, but the strength that I have is not the strength that I had a year ago. A year ago, I was weak. I was battered. I was in a manipulative ass relationship. I was getting the energy sucked out of me. Right now, I've been abstaining from sex. I'm single and I'm not mingling. So, like, all the energy that I have is all the energy that I have, and it's coming straight from source. So all this energy is going straight to my craft. So I know that I'm going to be able to actually move through some shit, you know, because all the power that I have is reserved for me and me only. I went through that shit twice. You know, the guy that I was, like, engaged with unofficially, officially, whatever, him and I broke up, and then I got into a situationship like a few months after that. That nigga drained all my fucking energy. He was a demon for real. And then I finally healed from that. And then I actually met a really nice guy. And I fell super hard. Super, super hard. And he didn't catch me. I fell by myself. And that shit pissed me off. It didn't make, well, I can't say it didn't make me sad because it did. I was definitely like depressed for a little bit. Like I was just in the house. Like I couldn't date. People was trying to like holler at me. I was just like, no, like just leave me alone, like please. And even now, like it's not even like I'm sad. Like I'm healed from that shit, and I'm cool off of him. I'm cool off of all my exes, honestly. But now I'm like, okay, well now I got all of my energy back. I called all of my energy back. Now I can do the work that I was supposed to do 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm playing catch up. And I think that's why I'm also like so passionate about it, because I feel like I let distractions get in the way. But it's okay because I had to learn. And third time's always a charm. And I say this all the time, there's power in the number of 3. And I see the number 3 all the time. Like when I got gas today, there was when I pulled up, the gas previously, you know, it showed like the person's last the amount of gas that they got or whatever, and the shit said $333 and not $333, $33.31, and I was like, damn, okay, well 333 is sitting staring me in the face. So there's power in the number 3. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it the third time, and I'm gonna do the third time right, because it took me a few times to get this shit right, and I'm gonna get this shit right. Okay, I'm not letting motherfuckers come back and distract me from my work and from the stuff that I know I've been called to do. I'm good. So yeah, I think I've said everything that I needed to say. Make sure, like I said before, y'all, keep them notifications on, because when I get to talking, and it literally be spur of the moment type shit. I really do enjoy these talks. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna call this, but yeah, I appreciate your views, the likes, support, subscribes, all that shit. Like I really appreciate it, all the love that I'm getting. I think I have like 7 subscribers now, and that's pretty cool. Because I'm just like, you know, like a regular girl. Like, y'all don't know me. And I really don't want to be famous, but I do want my words to have an impact, if nothing else. Like, if I could get on this bitch with a mask and know that y'all would listen to what I'm telling y'all, I would do that. But I know that the way social media works and people's attention spans, they would be like, why the fuck is she in her car with a goddamn mask on talking about generational curses? So yeah, anyway, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all put them post notifications on, click that bell so y'all know when I post again, and make sure you follow me on IG at Leah the Vibe, Twitter at Leah the Vibe with 2 E's at the end, and TikTok I don't really get on that much anymore, but that is also Leah the Vibe, Leah TV. So yeah, see y'all next time. Peace.